Welcome back into another video, and today it's time to review something else that we're going to be reviewing, Scott Pilgrim Comic Studio. Of course, this is actually going to be for some kind of titles as well, 3 of those categories as well, and especially there must be one movie and not all of them as well, so there wasn't actually going to be anywhere as well. This is not related to some kind of for modern games like Friday Night Funkin' and even many more games like as well too. So not even though that the game could be from back in the late 2010s or sometimes as well. So the first kinds of games or some kind of unknown reasons have finally released it around here back in late 2000s and early 2010s as well. The movie releases in 2010. Of course, that's Scott Pilgrim. It could be for exactly for one thing it is. As we scroll down, we didn't mention that it's gonna be for around for a lot of characters. So these are 5 of them, or probably there's one enemy could be on the front. It was owned by Brian Lee O'Malley, and credits to Wikipedia and other Scott Pilgrim Comic Studios that hasn't been updated since forever, and any other websites. Of course, 5 of these, and probably there must be endings and missing around of those things to be for some kind of other words. So the main characters could be for around himself, Ramona Flowers, Kim Pine, Stephen Stills, Nega Scott, and Knives Chow. So that wasn't going to be the same as well. And versus the world, they must be for a live action characters such as himself and probably for right next to him. So looks like this is actually for the Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. That could be for a cartoon series or some kind of like this. The animated series about for some kind of like this. This is the animated series, this is the movies, but the video game look like anything about here. So I won't be able to be showing this for whatsoever. So in the meantime, that the backgrounds doesn't look like anything as well for there. And there are 5 images over here. So this is going to be a crazy show for what things could be at. So there's a little bit more. And that features a Knight Rider. So I better gonna be using for some any kinds of this instead of adding my files or around up here. Adding images from my files wasn't going to be for a little bit interested. So as you'll be seeing this, there must be 5 images over here, but even the banner was absolutely a low quality, so I might gotta be added for any amount for this later, and so on, that I wouldn't actually going to be adding a little bit more for around here for just for them. So another Scott Pilgrim was completely discontinued for a long time. I cannot believe this is actually going to be the same thing that I never heard of. So, if we definitely seeing one of those guys over here, this doesn't absolutely gonna be looking around here for as well. The titles could be like this, including the Scott Pilgrim EX over here. I'm not sure that we're going to be for getting around here. So this will be the titles, and instead of the movies overall. So that must be for a few backgrounds around for the comic selections. Exactly, there's more background images for many couple of like these. So this is absolutely for a Black Mesa transit system. And a little bit more. And for some kind of like this. So this is actually the streets. The nightclub is not probably a little bit exist. So this is actually the nightclub, like anyway. So it could be for around here for this one. And so some kind of like these wouldn't actually going to be getting around here. So The backgrounds like these and the banners look like even a little bit of high quality over here. So this is actually Versus the World, and that could be a comic series. I cannot believe it that I just didn't find anywhere itself. So there must be a whole bunch of things I should have been able to add for. So I decided to use the studio crossovers and added a bunch of them. And before that, I'm gonna be talking around for the attention around here. But before we're gonna begin or continue this video, of course that the expanded Cookie Run Comic Studio has already taken down since a while ago. It was probably nothing yesterday that I already seen around here, such as I'm gonna be searched around here as Cookie, but then you didn't seen around of the expanded as well. So that was very unfortunately that the expanded Cookie Run Comic Studio has been removed, but this is absolutely totally replaced by something else. Unfortunately, this expanded comic studio around here of the Cookie Run version is not going anywhere, and especially this one has kept on place, and nothing due to the licensing around here for some kind of unknown reasons. I'm very not sure that the expanded Cookie Run Comic Studio has been deleted forever and never able to be coming back as well. And so on Cozy staff or like anything as well, Cozy Cafe still stands its place, including most of them from Tower of Adventures and all a bunch of stuff as well for a little bit amount of here for something as well. Sometimes someone quits comic studio around here for a long time as well, from the owner of the expanded Cookie Run Comic Studio has finally retiring, or I'm not very sure. This is probably that he eventually quits forever, and it's absolutely for a sad story for around anything as well. So Ari's Cookie Havoc is still absolutely exist, including anything as well, including scrapped Cookie Run, like anything as possible. So I'm pretty sure that he will never gonna be returned back for a long time. And it's not gonna be in case the expanded Cookie Run Comic Studio won't be able to come back for a long time. So eventually it's absolutely for complete under maintenance, or it's never going to be very existed for a long time. So, of course, we have already talked about this situation, and it was probably, we won't be able to be coming a little bit for just a little bit. So, Crystal's Little Kitchen will still exist, and especially like any Cookie Friends by Enzo and Owl's Cookie Run verse, or the Owl's House, like whatever it is. So, I might gotta be end of this video for a little bit for a long time, because the results like this could be pretty tricky as well, even though I didn't actually added anything as the cookies like themselves. Of course, we didn't add a blue slushy cookie over here, and especially for right over here for just a little bit for one. So, I'll add it over here for just right there, right next to other kinds of cookies from themselves. So as you can see, there must be for an ice juggler cookie right next to blue slushy cookie. There is tiger lily cookie right over here with her pet tiger. I'm not sure, that wasn't gonna be a little bit for a pet as well. So that the tiger could be the friend, and I wouldn't absolutely believe that was probably in the sets. So probably in the show there is a cinnamon cookie for Fulian Black as well to start the hidden secret show. There is an R32 skyline that I just added from my files. Especially there's a GF, and I added Friday Night Funkin' characters that I just started that I added over here. There is an engineer from Team Fortress 2 on this one. There's Heavy and Military over here in another set. There's Pico from Friday Night Funkin', and Shining Musket Cookie that you've seen this right next to the Acura NSX over here, the 2017 model year. And of course, there's a Banana Peel Cookie in the black alley streets of the Friday night funkin' over here. And finally, I added a little bit of bunch of this, but I cannot actually gonna be explained around here. These are probably from the cookies of the Summer Soda Comic Studio, and especially there must be Vinyl Scratch. More cookies like Mala Sauce and Choco or like these. I'm not sure. There's Cherry Ball playing drums and stuff around here, including one of them as well. And especially that could be her guitar, but I'm not sure. This is actually wasn't real or exist around here in Cookie Run franchise. But right next to this guy over here, and next to the Painbot over here, I added a F-250 from Ford's model year, about here for the 2014 model year over here. So that must be for some kinds of two guys from this adventure camp. So there must be a scientist and a police officer are in the transit train traveling to Black Mesa. I'm pretty sure this is absolutely for some sort of an automated train or something, but I guess that wouldn't be for a little bit long as well. So even though that must be for scientists and a Black Mesa security guard from Half-Life 1. Of course, that the Dead Son was having probably trouble, and probably that the Oldsmobile blocked it by the Dead Son over here, so that must be Cleveland Brown's car. And over here is Almond Cookie right next to a Custard Soldier. And finally, there's a Night Shifter from Hot Wheels, and probably there is a motorcycle, and it's probably right next to Street Urchin Cookie around here from a nightclub. But I'm probably sure that wasn't going to be for Say's Let's Plays as well. So that says Let's Raise for something else. So I'm probably sure that will be anything around here for this day as well. So that will be the end of this video. Of course, that the two links are going to be in the description below. But I'm not very sure many more of those clones of Scott Pilgrim Comic Studios around here. And I'm probably not sure that won't be anywhere as well. Thanks for watching and for all your support, and I'm going to be signing off, and I'll talk to you mini lads and comic studio users all later.